Hey everyone, and welcome to another eclectic episode of 366 2020. This is going to be a weird one. Let's get started. Phantom Thread is the newest film from director Paul Thomas Anderson. Stars Daniel Day-Lewis as a renowned dressmaker in 1950s London. He is a charming man, but he's also a strict perfectionist, which leads him to be loved by the people he makes dresses for and somewhat feared by his employees. Somewhat feared, not completely feared, but he has high standards. He stops at a diner for breakfast. He meets a waitress named Alma, who becomes his muse. And the film is about these two people's relationship, his aversion to commitment, her being his muse but also not wanting to be controlled by him. And the film is basically these two figuring out their relationship, what the roles are. This movie has a very specific look to it. They used a very grainy film stock, so it has a very old look to it. They also shot their sets full of smoke, so it has this haze to the light. There's no credited director of photography of this movie. Paul Thomas Anderson will say it was done by committee. He is basically the cinematographer on this film. It is the first film where he didn't have a director of photography. He does a great job. The movie looks amazing at all times. The lead performances by Daniel Day-Lewis and Vicky Krieps are astounding. They're very good. You always expect a Daniel Day-Lewis performance to be excellent, and this movie is no exception. And Vicky Krieps holds her own. Krieps? I'm probably saying that wrong. Anywho, and while I enjoyed the movie, it is a bit of a shapeless blob at times. Because it is just a slice of these two people's life, there's not really a plot all that much. It's more just a story of two people trying to feel each other out. And two people that really aren't trying to vocalize how they're trying to feel each other out. It did not instantly become one of my favorite P.T. Anderson films. It's one of his weaker efforts. It's still worth seeing because it's a P.T. Anderson movie. He doesn't make that many movies. But it's just a hard movie to love, at least for me. Oculus is a Blumhouse horror film directed by Mike Flanagan, the director of Gerald's Game and Dr. Sleep. Mike Flanagan has become one of the masters of modern horror in a very short amount of time. He's very good, and this movie is no exception. It's the story of a brother and sister who had something terrible happen in their past, seemingly caused by a creepy mirror that their parents bought, and their efforts to destroy the mirror so that the creepy things don't happen again. I was kind of amazed by this movie. I didn't think it could keep all the balls that it has in the air at the same time, but it's a juggling act that works out magnificently. Especially in the late act where it tends to be telling two stories, not just congruently, but at the same time within the same scenes. This movie is amazingly edited. And while the movie starts out with its trademark Blumhouse jump scares, it becomes something more as the film progresses. It has an underlying tension which is relentless, and it has several creepy scenes. And a couple hand over mouth shock moments which really got under my skin. This is not a big budget horror movie. This is a very small movie, but it tells a very good story and tells it very well. I really liked this movie. Overdrive is a car heist movie written by the people who wrote some of the Fast and Furious movies. Yep, it's written by the guys who wrote Too Fast, Too Furious. This movie is too slow and too boring. I checked out of this movie almost immediately. It's shot very flatly, the acting is bad, the storyline is unmemorable. It's like a cheap knockoff of every car heist movie you've ever seen. The characters speak in constant cliches. They don't make memorable characters. Everything about it's bland. The chase scenes are boring. The final chase scene is shot so poorly that I didn't know who was in what car, nor did it make me care. Sometimes you can make a low-budget movie look really good, and they made this low-budget movie look really bad. Wait. Sorry, quick trip down the rabbit hole. This movie cost 24 million euros. Where'd the money go? Probably into renting cars. This movie looks terrible for costing that much. The script is bad, the acting is worse. This movie's not good. And that is it for this episode. Have you guys seen any of these movies? Do you think they overpaid on Overdrive like I did? See you next time on 366 2020. Thanks for watching.